Hey, what's up, everyone? LTC here, and welcome back to another episode of Game Time TV. If you enjoy athletic-based content and want to hear more, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to Game Time TV on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Time TV 19 and on X at Game Time YT. Now, let's get started. David, have you ever been benched or cut in your sport?
I have been benched before. I went from starting my junior year at the small private school I was at, and then I was benched when I went to the public high school for my senior year.
Have you ever transferred because of that?
What do you mean?
Like, have you ever transferred because you had gotten benched?
So actually, the team I transferred from, I was starting on. And the team I transferred to, I got benched.
That's very peculiar.
Well, I think I said this previously, but as the rankings by division kind of go in Illinois, it's 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and 5A for basketball. And the private school I was starting at was the 1A, so that's the lowest of the low. And the school I transferred to was the 3A. I went up 2 divisions.
Oh, okay, I see.
So as you can imagine, you have guys playing there longer who are adjusted to that pace and understand that type of system, whereas I came from a 1A school who could essentially be an AAU team. So in the sense that it wasn't structured like at all.
I got you. Because when it comes to me specifically, when I transferred down to Oklahoma and played high school sports down there, it was a 5A school. The highest division in Oklahoma is 6A.
Okay.
And well, there's 6A, there's 6AA, and there's 6A.
Okay.
Kind of like the Division 1 and Division AA. I don't know why they said it like that. But I was in a 5A school, so it was like second highest.
It would be third. It would be third highest.
Yeah, third highest.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and whatever sport I played, because I mostly played football, and I did 1 year track and field. I never really got benched or cut playing football and doing track and field. But I mean, last time I did, like, that I was like a bench player was like in middle school playing basketball. But that was like such a long time ago. And the main reason I was like not starting is because I was a center to power forward. And the guy who's starting ahead of me was 6'4"
as a middle schooler.
As a middle schooler,
yeah, you're not competing with that. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I couldn't do nothing with that.
You were not competing.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our first segment about getting benched or cut. Now, when somebody does get benched or cut, do you think that it's a normal reaction just to have some sort of emotions like anger, embarrassment, and like, what is it? Like, be in denial that like they got benched or cut?
I mean, I think it's definitely normal. I think it also depends on the situation. I think getting benched and getting cut are two very different things.
Well, let's separate it because let's start with bench first.
So bench is the hypothetical that you're a starter and you got benched?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that, I mean, it definitely calls for some anger, but it can also call for some self-improvement because you're not entirely off the team. You just temporarily lost your spot and you just realized that spot was like never 100% yours. So that's different than getting cut. Moving on to cut. Getting cut, I think it can have a similar impact in the sense that, I have to get better. But I think getting cut can be more demoralizing just because you're not even on the team. So I think that goes to more embarrassment than getting benched. Because benched, you're still on the team. Getting cut, you're not even sniffing the team. So
yeah, I would say this about getting benched. I mean, if you're getting benched, there's some reasoning behind. Okay, both of them have reasoning behind your getting cut or getting benched. But the reasons are going to be entirely different. Because if you're getting benched and you're a starter, then it's like, okay, you either was not playing good, you haven't been playing good, you got an injured person behind you had stepped up and really did a lot. So they have to put you in the back end just for that temporary moment. Or, and this goes directly towards student athletes, your grades are failing. And if if your grades are on the downturn, there's no reason why you should be starting. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Because how are you going to tell me that, all right, let's bring in somebody who plays basketball, right? And this basketball player says, well, I'm the best out here on the court. And the person behind them, who just happens to be a bench player, is like, well, I might not be as good as him, but I still keep my grade straight and I'm steadily improving.
Yeah.
Me as a coach, I'm more likely to trust the bench player because I will know that he's more reliable in the classroom than the star player. The superstar player, he can be great in the classroom too, but if that guy is more worried about playing basketball than academics, there's a very fast way for you to get benched.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Well, it's even regulation. So like the coach won't even have to bench you. You'll just get benched or temporarily suspended from the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And along with that, I will say getting injured, that's a very tough spot.
Yeah.
Because if you're injured and you're on IR, you have no choice. Because coaches want to see how you feel, how you navigate being injured and seeing how you rehab. Majority of coaches don't want to see one of their players out on the court, on the field, and they're still like having some sort of nagging injury.
Yeah.
Like, because they'll know that's detrimental to the athlete's career. Unless like you have a coach that like, oh, you injured, well, toughen up.
Yeah. Those coaches are never good. So
not at all. And at that point, if you're to me, as an athlete, well, okay. As a former athlete, that does not sound right. For me, it doesn't sound right because I'm like, I still work out. I still like do athletic based stuff, but I wouldn't say I sit on my butt for the listeners out there. Like, don't get me wrong. But as a former athlete, if I get injured and coach is like, well, I guess you're just gonna have to play on it. And there's no way I could actually like play on it. No.
Yeah.
Like that's probably a good reason for me to transfer. Because it's like I can't trust you as a coach. Now, I also believe that it's important to recognize the feelings of the athletes who do get benched or cut. Now, for like you said, you alluded to this earlier because if you get cut, you must have did something extremely bad for you to like get to that point. Because at that point you should be embarrassed. You should get angry at yourself because why are you putting yourself in the position to get cut?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, there's no reason why you should be putting yourselves in that. Any athlete should put themselves in a position to get cut. Because how does that help out your future? How does that help out your career?
So I'm going to speak. So the emotional part, I think we have to take emotions out of it. And I think just put coaches to be more understanding in the sense that if you get benched or if you get cut, the coach has to be straight up with you. But the coach also has to be honest and tell you like actually what to do and not just say, oh, just keep working hard, because that's actually what I got. My minutes started getting reducing as the season came to an end. And I asked the coach, like, what do you guys need? What do you guys need from me so I can get more minutes? And they told me just work hard and practice in your own minutes.
That doesn't
maybe 30 seconds a game. I ended up getting the last couple of games of the season. So yeah, any coaches listening, be honest with your players, but be helpful.
Yeah.
You don't have to be sensitive, but let's not be vague, because no athlete wants that. We just want to get better.
Exactly. And I mean, I would hate it just as much as any coach would just say that. Because if I'm trying my absolute hardest to get some minutes and you're just saying, well, we just need to practice harder, I'm like, okay, in what areas?
Yeah.
Like, you don't just like hang us out to dry. Because if we try to work on a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Explain that.
If you are good at everything, if your coach is being vague and you try to like, okay, I need to put my time on everything, like shoot, that's more of a defensive logic. In any sport, you put your logic in everything, scoring, defending, and stuff like that. You're going to be a good player, but coaches want a great player on a specific thing. Like, what are you great at?
I agree with that.
But if you're just good at everything, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, you're good, but be somebody who's great. Like you're a great scorer, you're a great defender, you're a great blocker. They want you to be great.
Yeah,
A jack of all trades is a master of none. That's what I'm saying.
that makes sense.
Now, the next question would be, I'm gonna say this to any athlete out here, student athlete: when you do get benched or you do get cut, do not under any circumstances start complaining about getting benched with the team because you got benched, or just have a crazy ego because you got benched. Now, if you're getting cut, well, you shouldn't complain you got cut because you must have did something for you to get cut.
Yeah.
If you're well, there's no point in quitting because you got cut. And if you have an entire ego because you got cut, it makes you look dumb.
Yeah. No,
And
yeah.
complaining about getting benched, I can understand like you not understanding why you're getting benched and you want the coach to like explain to you why you're getting benched. But to just come out and just like coach doesn't believe in me, coach doesn't want to do this, coach doesn't want to do that with me. Like coach has favorites, stuff like that. I'm like, dude, come on. Now sometimes those could be like realistic options. One of those could be realistic because sometimes a coach may have favorites, even though coaches claim that they don't have favorites. Some of them do. Like, let's just be honest here. But like complaining about getting benched, like you got to be mature at the end of you got to be mature at the end of the day.
I think because this is what happened with me. I think complaining is warranted and fine when the coach won't tell you and it's obvious the coach is playing favorites. So I'm not saying you can't complain, but I mean, obviously you can't let that affect your game. But if the coach clearly tells you what you're doing wrong and you don't fix it, there's obviously no reason to complain and no reason you should be complaining in the first place.
Now, I have a question for you, David.
Yeah.
Would you combine complaining and having some kind of ego spiral? Would you combine those two and like those could be technically classified as the same thing? Because if you're having some kind of like ego about like playing your sport because you're getting benched, because why is he starting over me because he's better than me? Why is she starting over me because she's better than me? This is like having some kind of ego to it.
Yeah.
When doesn't that count as complaining?
I think the way I think about complaining is not getting minutes
Mm-hmm.
and not being the one, and not in the general sense that, oh, I'm so much better than this person. Why am I not playing? I don't. I think you are able to separate those two, just because complaining is, you put in the work and you're still not getting recognized. You're still not improving minutes or being a starter or whatever. Egotistical is uh, not doing anything about it, but still complaining. So
Okay.
I think there's the direct distinction there.
But I would say that it's like if you're having some kind of if your ego gets hurt because you're getting benched, because people have so much pride, and the moment that they get benched, like their ego takes a hit and their pride takes a hit. A lot of athletes don't want to accept that,
Yeah, I agree.
and I'm like, bro, deal with it because how is your ego going to help the team?
Yeah, I agree.
Period, point blank. How is your ego going to help the team? You can claim that you're the best out there on the court or on the field, but like, okay, I'm gonna say this: your ego can do a lot of damage to a team.
Yeah. Oh,
I think just listen to me.
I've seen it.
Egos
firsthand.
can do a lot of damage to teams.
I've seen it firsthand do damage.
Same here. And when you let your ego spiral out of control, I promise you, your team chemistry is just going to go down.
Yeah,
Like it's down fast.
and people don't understand like how much team chemistry can affect a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have the most talented players in the world if they can't get along, they won't win anything.
Yeah. It's like there's I'm gonna say this because being competitive and being competitive and having a bad ego when it comes to your sport, those are entirely two different things.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's okay to be competitive because y'all can stay friends afterwards. It's just the moment y'all in y'all sport, it's like, oh yeah, it's game on, me and you, 1-on-1 or 5-on-5, 7-on-7. Like that's just how it is. But if it gets to the point, it's like, nah, there ain't no me and you.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's just me out here.
Yeah.
I'm the best out of everyone in this locker room.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's male or female. I'm the best. I'm like, nah, you can't.
Yeah. That kind of attitude has to go. If you do act like that, that has to go.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this to any of the seniors and juniors out there, or any other upperclassmen, basically. If you're having an ego and you want to put your ego towards the sophomores and the freshmen, that is the quickest way to destroy chemistry for the future.
Yeah, 100%.
And I want to contest to this because when I was playing football for my school, a lot of upperclassmen that I was playing with had bad egos.
Yeah.
And it got to the point to where it's like none of the freshmen was like we didn't like playing for the football team.
Hmm.
And our football team was not good that year. But it turns to the point to where you lose a game and immediately those upperclassmen blame the freshmen, blame the sophomores for losing the game.
Hmm.
How does that help the team at all? How does that help you? How does that help anyone?
No, it helps absolutely no one.
You mad that we lost? Great, but for you to just immediately start pointing fingers, it's like, bro, take some accountability.
Yeah.
Put your ego, put your pride aside.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nobody should be no athlete should go through that.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, you also had you were going to explain earlier about your experience going through going through the exact same thing. What was it?
Like experience, like transferring or experience.
Well, the experience of people's egos, like ruining a team.
Yeah. So, I can speak to. There are two parts to this. There's coach playing favorites, and there is the players of ego, the egos of players.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start with last year. We had this freshman. He's a sophomore now.
Mm-hmm.
We try out, and obviously, the coach like calls everyone in the tryout room, stuff like that. He wasn't there initially.
Mhm.
So we all thought they were going to start him on JV because he had played with us during summer league, and he wasn't bad, but he definitely had a lot to improve on, and he ended up getting set back down to JV during summer league. So we thought they'd start him on JV. It turns out that we show up to practice the next day. He's there with us, this freshman. And just for reference, he is like 6'6".
Oh,
So
wait, how much do you think he weighed?
less than me. He was
How much do you weigh?
185, 190,
And he's 6'6"?
6'6", 6'7". So
Okay.
he was not.
What position did
Yeah.
What position did he try to go out for?
They would play him at the power forward or the center.
Oh.
So, but he was not as coordinated as you would like him to be. And he was he was a typical freshman.
Mhm.
He was just taller than normal freshman. So I had no issues with him. It was, and even as we started the season, like the first half of the season, probably first 2/3 actually of the season, we were actually doing pretty good. Coach was subbing pretty well. He would get in, I would get in too. No one had more minutes. If you were doing well in practice and you went out in the game and caught fire, coach would keep you in the game.
Mhm.
We get to the last about third of the season, and it was after it all started going down after this one game where, in my mind, I didn't score a lot, but I had my best all-around defensive game, communicated game, and I was able to attribute something in the scoring department. But
Well, I was saying, what we talking about here? Like 5 steals, 2 blocks?
like 2 or 3 jump balls. So
All right.
2 or 3 jump balls, a couple of rebounds, and it was against a team we hadn't beaten for a long time in our history. So I was very happy to contribute however I can. But
Mhm.
it all kind of went downhill after that. Like I slowly started playing less and less. Our coach started subbing less and less, except the only kid he would sub was the freshman. And it was clear. Like he could sub me in for a little bit. If I made a mistake, I'm right back on the bench. My coach won't even talk to me. He wouldn't even come over, coach me. Not even like he wouldn't even yell at me. But if a freshman makes a mistake, it's okay. Yeah, good job, buddy. Like the exact same mistake, different results. No coaching, and yeah, that's kind of how it went. That's kind of how it went the last third of the season. So, but pretty much, I'm playing maybe 20 seconds a game, not even. And there was a game I get in actually, and in 30 seconds, I had 3 points, one steal, and a rebound. Pretty solid for 30 seconds of not even being one of the main guys. But, coach, the coaches always say, oh, they always said, oh, if you caught fire, we'll keep you in the game. I did not get put back in that game. And it was a team that we had beaten that season by a decent amount, and we only beat them by like 5 or 6. Barely got out of there alive. Now, again, to our credit, to my team's credit, we were missing one of our stars, one of our starters. Who he was a junior. He was a junior, and he had been there. He had been on the team starting since he was a freshman. So a key piece, obviously, but there was no excuse for favoritism that was shown. There was no coaching. There was no rhyme or reason to what they were doing. And that just made me sad because the whole reason I came was for structure, and I end up getting sucked into politics over the team.
Oh my goodness, bro.
So,
and you know what? That's those are the kind of situations where I understand why.
why complaining is warranted.
Yeah, but along with complaining, like let's say we flip the situation, right? Let's say if that was your first school, let's say you transfer out of that school to go to a different school, and then you start getting minutes again. Those are the times where I'm like, okay, transferring was the best idea because, bruh, when it comes to playing time politics, you are screwing with other athletes' development.
Yeah. That's sadly the worst part about it.
That's sadly the worst part. And to all the coaches out there, having favorites is not going to help you. I can understand like playing someone that has tremendous upside and has tremendous talent and potential, but you have to look at everyone and give everybody a chance.
You have to be able to treat every player equally. And if you want to be hard on them, make sure you're hard on everyone else too. Yeah. Because you're not only then discouraging that player, you're hindering the team because then players can think they can start getting away with stuff. Because trust me, high schoolers aren't.
Oh, I hate that so much.
High schoolers aren't dumb. They pick up on that stuff and they abuse it right away.
Really quickly.
So don't give them the chance to abuse it.
Exactly. At that point, you know what? Just like David said, that's exactly how you build athletes' egos up in a dangerous way.
Yeah.
That is a great way how athletes can be like, and have the most craziest egos. Like, I'm untouchable. Y'all not gonna do nothing to me because I'm the superstar on this team.
Yeah.
But if you're a coach out there and you don't mind like sitting a star player because they're not doing well in whatever category, practice or the game or classes in and of itself, if that athlete has an ego and all they can talk about is the school isn't going to win without me being on the team, that's where you as a coach, you need to talk to that athlete one-on-one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if that athlete doesn't like it, that's where it's like, okay, I might have to cut you loose because you are going to be a detrimental to our team.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And since we're talking about getting benched or cut, those are the situations where you can't complain if you're a person that's getting cut for those reasons.
Yeah.
Now, I just thought about this in my mind, but I don't think anyone has ever gotten cut because they gotten injured too much and they were unavailable. So I've never seen it or never heard of it. But if you are in the YouTube comments and you have had that issue before, please share it down below. You can remain anonymous, but I hope that no coach would cut a player because they get injured.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's just sad.
That is sad. It's unfortunate because that's something they can't control.
Exactly. Should an athlete have self evaluation of his or herself, or should they have a victim mindset?
Yeah, see, this is so interesting. And I think it's too clear cut. Why are we having a victim mindset? Why should I mean that just goes for life. Why should we ever have a victim mindset? We need to be able to self-evaluate ourselves. And, and if you realize that there's really nothing you can do, honestly, that's the most freeing thing. Like if you like I had to realize that it, I had to realize when if all a coach wanted from me was to give my 100% in practice and they said they'd give me more minutes and they still that's their choice. That's not in my control. If I am apparently doing everything they ask of me, there was no more I could do. And that was honestly a freeing truth. And I enjoyed those last couple of games that I really didn't get minutes because I just realized why should I care about something that I shouldn't control, that I can't control? I physically cannot control the coach's mind. And that's true about life. You can't control what other people do. You can only control your variables. Never have a victim mindset. Always have a self evaluating mindset. And if there's nothing to self evaluate, if you realize you're doing everything you can, then move on and just realize there's nothing I can do.
You know what? I ain't got nothing to say to that. I ain't got nothing to add on. That's
Yeah.
like there's just nothing to say because I 100% agree with you. Just to have that mentality of like, why is coach doing this? Like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that with that coach? It's like, bro, at that point, just move on. Because if you, like I said, if you like you said, if you try your absolute hardest and nothing has been given in return, just move on.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, how long should you allow yourself to be upset about getting benched or cut? Do you think?
Two different scenarios. So, cut. It depends on how serious you take the sport. If you're mad you got cut, I'd say just get right back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Get right back to work. Benched. The underlying point is going to be you maybe get a day. You maybe get a day to sit on it, process it. After that, you just gotta move on and you gotta do what you gotta do. So let's start with cut. Like I just said, cut. You get a day, and then if you're super serious, like if you really want to improve in the sport, get back to work. Get back to doing your process, doing whatever you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you get benched, you really have no time. You're still on the team. Your attitude still affects the team.
Yeah.
So, couple hours,
Yeah.
couple hours maybe,
Give or take. Yeah.
give or take.
You know what?
You
Probably just that night.
Yeah, I was about to say- I was
that
about to
night
say.
once you.
You get that evening, and then after that, you ask the coach what you can do to get that spot back.
Mm-hmm.
If coach tells you some big answer, just do it. Just follow it, and hope for the best. But then just have the understanding that there's nothing I can do. So I'm just gonna do what coach told me to do, and if he doesn't want to play me, he doesn't want to play me.
Yeah.
Um,
Now the next question. Okay. The next question would be: should you talk to your own teammates about it, or just keep it private? To me personally, I'm just gonna keep it private. It's like, I mean, it's none of y'all concerned that I got bitched.
well, they'll see that you got benched.
Yeah,
Obviously.
they'll see it. So it's like,
I mean, but there's no
Mhm.
reason to complain about it to your teammates.
Mhm.
So because you're even just giving them more fuel to give the coach if they're really snitches like that.
yeah. And also, I mean, if you have teammates, like if you do get cut and the first thing they do is clown you, it's like, okay, like
Yeah.
y'all are those aren't good teammates. Immediately, it's like, okay, if it's like, oh, you got benched, dang, bro. Well, hopefully get your spot back. But if it's like, bro, like if it's laughs and giggles, you lost your spot and you ain't gonna get it back. Congratulations, that's a great way to be a toxic teammate. That's a great way how to destroy somebody else's confidence.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now I want to talk about a little bit about accountability
Mm,
because if you are benched, or if you were, let's say if you were already benched, right?
mm.
Did you really outwork the starter?
Again, this is in simple terms, no, you didn't. But also, coaches can play favorites,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it also can be something I've noticed. And there's a team back home, called they're called Wakanda, and they're in my conference. And I've watched some of their games this year. And something I've noticed is they do have some really talented guys on the bench,
Mm-hmm.
but their starting lineup just fits so much better together. So it's not even that you're bench. It's not even that you're not talented, and that's probably one of the reasons. But it's just that your coach doesn't. Your coach thinks that there's a better fit or a better player for that game because every team's different and all that. So it doesn't even have to be that you're not talented. It can be that you're not the right fit for the starting lineup, and that they like because there is definitely some power to coming off the bench. I mean, Frager comes off the bench for us,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd say he's definitely one of the most talented players on our team. But he's an energy guy. Like when he just when he just gets going, the whole team gets hyped. The whole team then gets going, and you need some of those guys on the bench. So yeah, I don't even think being benched is a bad thing
No, it's not.
because you can be that spark guy that I mean that's why I was my sophomore year, and that's what I was my senior year too. My sophomore year I was like I was like I think I was the sixth man pretty much off the bench for the 1A team I was at, which our team was actually like pretty decent compared to other 1A and 2A schools, but we you know like I'd go in there and I'd hit maybe one shot or two, and our team would just go on a run. Like it would just be like all the switches clicked. And I enjoyed being that for my team. And same for my senior year. Like I'd hit a shot or two and everything would just start clicking and our team would get going. And I'd get a defensive stop. I
Mhm.
enjoyed being that guy for the team because there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be a starter to make an impact.
Absolutely. I know. And I can contest that too, because when I was playing basketball in middle school, I was coming off the bench and progressively got more and more playing time. I mean, it didn't also necessarily help that I there were a couple times where I had to sit for a good amount of the game because I fouled out. Uh yeah.
You would be that guy to foul out.
Why is that, Davey?
Big body, boy.
All right, boy.
I haven't seen you play basketball. I'm curious.
Okay, so in middle school I was 3 and D. I was a 3 and D guy. So I could shoot.
You shoot?
Yeah. I had a very wet jump shot. A very wet jump shot. All you can hear was all you can hear was that basket just in, in. Very good jump shot. I can make a deep two to deep three. I was all right when it came to driving layups and everything. But I was a very, very, very physical defender. Like I would get all up in you. Pause. I would get all. Dang, there's not a good way how to say this.
You were a good defender. Let's
I
just
was
leave.
I was a very
You were a very
I was a
physical defender.
very physical defender.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, and I got fouled out a lot. But me coming off the bench, it felt like to me that my our defensive aggressiveness came up a good bit to where it's like when I wasn't playing, well, we had a pretty good defense, but when I was playing, it's like the defense like tightened up a lot more to where it was like hard for them to score unless somebody was maybe like 6 foot something.
Yeah.
You know what? I was a very good rebounder at 5'9". Now, I want to let all the athletes know about this because if you play basketball, men's or women's, football, well, any sport, right, where you get benched. Every time, if you get benched, there should be a lesson learned. And no matter what it might be, no matter what the lesson might be, you have to go through it. David, what's the one thing getting benched taught you?
I think it taught me that no one's bigger than the team. And my situation is particularly particularly interesting in the sense that it's not that I was a bad player, it's just that the coaches had favorites more. But
Hmm.
I mean, probably the lesson that it taught me was that there's only so much I can do as one person.
Did it expose something in your mindset?
I mean, I think I definitely had a little bit of a victim mindset, like, oh, this is happening to me. And that kind of ruined my experience towards the
Hmm.
end of the season. But I think that learning from that and moving forward, I think that was and not enjoying the last third of my season was a small price to pay for learning that lesson.
Hmm.
So,
Well, who would you be today without that moment?
I think I'd be a lot more cockier. I think I would be a lot more,
Black year.
well, just in the sense that if I didn't have that moment, like if, there was something that, like, oh, coach never benched, like I never got benched and, I'd be too over the moon about myself. But I mean, I can't play hypotheticals, but probably more arrogant than I am today.
Mhm. I will definitely say this about me being benched. I mean, even though it was such a long time ago, well, I will say this: you have to be patient.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what I would say that I learned is that even though you want to be good so fast, so quickly, you have to be patient.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what sport you in. And if you're a freshman, if you're trying to become a starter or something like that, and you want to go to varsity so bad because you see all these other freshmen like getting stars and stuff like that, and they're on their varsity squad. And you're like, why can't that be me? That should be me. Let me go ahead and like put myself in those positions. Slow down,
yeah, I agree with that.
slow down, because not everybody develops the same way. Some people develop slower than others. Some
Yeah,
people develop faster than others. You have to wait.
yeah, I agree with that.
And it's like if you're on the bench, there's a good chance that coach is going to need to use you later.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And even if you don't play and you are frustrated,
If you're doing everything the coach is asking of you and the coach is not telling you and the coach is not telling you any more on what you can improve on,
mhm,
there's nothing more you can do.
yeah. Now, did it expose something in my mindset? Well, yeah, it exposed that I'm a lot more patient. Yeah, it just exposed that I'm a lot more patient now than I would think I am.
Yeah.
And who would I be today without that moment? An impatient person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest, even with that, even without being impatient, I would probably be like I can say injury. I'll be an injury ridden person, mostly because since I was forcing myself a lot to like try to become better, like try to do all this other stuff, like to try to gain strength to get ready for varsity.
Yeah.
My body was not ready for it,
Yeah.
and so that could lead to like a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So that moment, without that moment of me realizing I need to be patient to see how development, how my body would come to be, I would definitely be injured a lot more than I was.
Yeah.
Now, for all the athletes out there, these are the questions that you should ask yourself. What is like if you do get benched? What is the one thing that being benched taught you? Did it expose something in your mindset? And what do you need to fix? And who would you be if you didn't have that moment?
Yeah.
Even add one more. If it was in your control, then you need to do better. If it was out of your control, leave it alone.
Yeah.
because you can't do nothing to fix that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We are moving on to our second segment about transferring. Now, we kind of talked about it a little bit about transferring,
Yeah.
but when I will say this. So the first question I put down was, when is transferring justified?
Mm.
Right. We kind of alluded to this a lot. When if your coach has favorites and there's playing time politics, transfer out of that school, because that coach is not going to help you develop into the player you want to become. It doesn't matter the sport, men's or women's. If your coach has favorites and there's playing time politics, transfer, because it's not going to help you. If one school is not good for your development in general, like if you go to if you go to like a school in a weaker division, and like, yeah, you're the best at that division, but D1 offers aren't really looking at you, then it might be better for you to transfer to like a higher division school in your state to try to get that visibility.
Yeah.
It actually leads to like the third one is the visibility, because some schools, they have that visibility to where if someone mentioned that school's name, it's like, oh, you went there? Like if you get that reaction, or it's like, sick, you went to that school? That school is like known for like having the best sports programs. That's where it's like, okay, it's better for you to transfer to some school like that. Because if a school is known for their academics and their sports, having good sports,
Mm-hmm.
then there's no doubt that you're going to get the best bang for your buck transferring.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
you'll definitely become a better player overall.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, I guess it depends. No, okay. It doesn't really work in high school. So nobody really does this in high school. If they do it, it's stupid. But in college, it's different because of the NIL opportunities. But if you're, I guess, transferring to school for NIL opportunities, for better NIL opportunities, like it does make sense. I can understand, like, you want to make money off of your name, your brand, and the recognition that you have.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand that.
Yeah.
If you want to go to a school that has better facilities and better name recognition, I can. Yeah, I can understand transferring.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that will go like on why somebody should be justified in transferring? Or
I think they're definitely. I think NIL has definitely ruined loyalty in a sense.
mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, let's play this out.
Hold on, wait, because that's my third question.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on to the loyalty thing.
Okay. Uh, let's play. I mean, let's play Dylan Raiola as an example, right?
Uh huh.
Treated great. I mean, he's pretty much praised on this campus.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I I believe that the coaches have been pretty well towards him. We're paying him how much? I mean, it's what, 2-3 mil?
2-3 mil.
And I don't know if he got more going to Oregon, but for him just to go to a team who's praised and loved him for 2-3 years, and just to see that disloyalty, it's kind of
You know what? I'm gonna push back on that, because when it comes to the Dylan Raiola situation, because yeah, I can understand the disloyalty with him, but I think it also speaks to our fan base and our students themselves actually as well. Because when he went down, there were a lot of people who were like, "Well, he shouldn't have. He should run more, or he's fat, or it's like basically like dehumanizing him." And not only that, like Patrick Mahomes comparisons, like, bro, are we serious? It's not that hard. When you look at the facts with him, people were like, he looks exactly like Patrick Mahomes. He does all this stuff like Patrick Mahomes. He has the same QB coach as Patrick Mahomes,
yeah.
dude. And like saying he looks exactly like him. Patrick Mahomes is mixed. Dylan Raiola is Polynesian. Their hairstyles is different. Wears the exact same handband as Patrick Mahomes. Dude, are we serious right now?
Yeah.
Now I can understand like he does this. I can understand the exact same motions that Dylan does, that Patrick Mahomes does. Dylan does. I can understand that, but
Mm-hmm.
to be like that's the Patrick Mahomes mini clone, or he's doing all this glazing because well he's just a mini Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But then the moment that he gets injured, right? Everybody, crap, our starter's injured, our starting quarterback's injured. Like, dang, no. But it quickly shifts to, well, he couldn't run. He was fat, and it's like, dude, like I would want to transfer if that's the publicity I got from that school.
That's actually fair. But yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, because I actually wrote a paper on this that people should get paid for their name, image, and likeness. But I think there definitely has to be a contract, like locked
Absolutely.
in. Like you have to if you know you will pay you this much to stay for 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then there would be no loyalty disargument because they'd be free to at the end of their contract they'd be free to explore other options.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there definitely has to be extra measures taken to make NIL deals more reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But do I think it's bad? No, I do not. I just think without the contracts, disloyalty kind of gets taken on. So
Now, my next question would be if somebody is transferring, doesn't matter if it's high school or college or even just middle school, who knows? Do you think they're running from growth? And to be honest, when it comes to me, I don't think so. Because if you're trying to go to another school that you know can help you better, can help you grow as an athlete better, you are quite literally chasing growth.
yeah,
You're not running from growth. You're quite literally chasing it. You know that other school's not beneficial for you. You want to go to this school, and you know that other school's beneficial for you.
yeah.
Growth with that team, I can understand that. Like you're running from that growth from that team, but
Mhm.
like if you want to grow as an athlete, I can understand. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna leave this school and go to another school so I can chase, so I can be better at my sport. It's not that hard. What do you think?
Yeah, so in my case, I transferred because it was better for my academics and because it was a more structured team.
Oh yeah,
So,
the academics part.
but I can understand going to school for more playing time if you want to transfer there. It all depends on your motive. So, I mean, I knew I didn't want to play in college, so I transferred. Even though I didn't play a lot, I definitely think I got much more better as a player than I would have if I stayed at the private unstructured school, and I was able to get a lot of college credit out of the way for only being there for 1 year.
Now we get to the loyalty part.
Yeah,
Does loyalty still matter? And I'm gonna first start off by saying, yeah, it does. And it's stupid that the moment, the moment that NIL happened, NIL and Trevor Porter, the moment those two happened, like it basically became a free for all.
yeah,
And I'm just gonna say this: college coaches, or even maybe even high school coaches, who go into another player's DMs at a different school and tell them to transfer to come to their school. It's like, and we'll give you a certain amount of money for that. That's sickening. Because why are you valuing yourself on money?
yeah,
Because values and not loyalty. Because I think loyalty helps you in the long run way better than money does. If you stick with a team long enough, there is a possibility that you can reap the benefits of
mhm,
like winning a state championship or winning a national championship with that team.
yeah,
And having that be in the team's history. But if you're basing everything on, well, I'm gonna leave this school because the other school's offering me more money and their coach tampered with me, bro. Like where's the loyalty, bro?
yeah,
And don't even get me started on the people who claim that they're committed to a school and then because another school came out of nowhere, threw a huge bag at them, and like, you know what? Screw the school that I was about to go to. I'm going to the other school because they offer me a blank check.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna chase the bag. I don't really care about what the other school has. The other school can probably go band for band with the other school, but you never gave them the opportunity.
yeah.
Like, where's your loyalty, bro?
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna base your loyalty on money.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think a contract would be good.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like, I mean, you sign a commitment letter, if you are getting paid a significant amount of money, they deserve a specific amount of your time.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, I mean, that's just like anything, like with a company or with a contractor or with anything.
It's just amazing how the word even the word even committed in college football or even college in any college sport, the word committed isn't really committed unless the letter of intent is officially signed.
Yeah.
No one, you cannot be athletes out there on this day of age now. And I'm sounding like an old head. I promise you, I'm only 21. No, I'm not. I am not old.
He's nearing 30. He's lying.
Nearing 30 is wild. I have 9 more years, bro. Student athletes that are in high school, and they're getting offers. I hate to say this. Yeah, there's no such thing as vocal commitment
Yeah.
because unless you officially signed a letter of intent early on, you are not truly committed. It's either that or you shut your commitment down early and you know you're going to that one school.
Yeah.
Those are the only times where it's like, okay, the fan bases know that you're truly committed to that school.
Yeah.
But if you are just saying that, yeah, I'm committed to this specific school,
Yeah.
and you're just vocally saying it, and you didn't sign the letter of intent, no, some fan bases are going to be like, yes, we got what we needed, but other fan bases like Nebraska now, it's not believable.
Yeah.
Because did you sign? The first question we're going to be asking is, did you sign a letter of intent? Like, did you really do that?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't do that, then like we don't know if you're actually going to be coming here. And the same thing with transferring, because like you said, if we had contracts and you committed here, you had a contract, you signed it, and then you decide to dip out for whatever reason, that contract's anything that you got in it should be null and void immediately.
Yeah. I agree with that.
With that contract comes with loyalty.
Yeah. Well, you sign it, there's no way of getting out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a contract with anything.
Yeah.
So
Like at that point, it's the fact that you're going to have to force athletes to be loyal to their programs.
Yeah.
But it has gotten to that point now because when you have agents and parents talking in the athlete's ear about getting more money or whatever, that's not right.
yeah, I agree with that.
There was somebody on Instagram that said, well, you have to take into account of the athlete's background, like where they grew up and everything. I can understand that a little bit, but you have to understand that that school gave that athlete a chance
Yeah.
for a better life. Don't just okay. You gave me a chance. I'm gonna go to your school. I don't really. The school's not paying me enough. I'm just gonna dip.
Yeah.
Don't do that because one, you're gonna start becoming a journeyman or a journeywoman.
Yeah.
People who don't know what that means is basically you are just going to multiple places and not settling down. And if you stay, especially if you stay at one college for a long period of time, you're gonna reap the benefit. You're gonna reap some kind of benefits
Yeah.
to that college. But if you are just, I'm gonna commit to this school, you go to that school. I really don't like the NIL that they give me, so I'm gonna transfer. You transfer to another school, and you do this. You do that exact same thing because you don't like the NIL, or somebody offer you a bigger bag. Like you don't have any loyalty, and you know what? I think teams are starting to figure out that if you are the kind of person that has transferred like multiple times because of something, like something that's like something that's like not important, they are not going to take you out of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, this person has just been everywhere. Why has this person been everywhere? Because of NIL?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because of money?
It also just looks bad because then you can't be trusted, and that's something teams can see.
Exactly. It's like you're congratulations, you just put yourself on a lower level now.
Yeah.
But now we need to start talking about the pros and cons of like going transferring and everything. For pros for high school transfers and college transfers, you have a fresh start, better exposure, better system, a better system fit, depending on the school you go to, because that's probably something that is that's not looked at. And I feel like every high school player and every college athlete should look at that before they decide to transfer schools. And you know what? If another coach slides into your DMs talking about we're going to throw you this amount of money to come transfer to our school, make sure that if they are doing that, that's actual like good system fit for you.
Yeah.
Like, don't just like leave and then you go to another school and it's like, the school, the system's not right for me.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Higher competition, that's understandable, and personal environment. And what I mean by personal environment is, I mean, we alluded to it all this episode of toxic culture. Either the coaches or the team is just toxic, bro. Those are the times where it's like, okay, yeah, seeing something new and transferring is the best outcome.
Yeah.
Now, David, I'm going to list the cons and let me know if one of these. Well, actually, you know what? Before I list the cons, David, do you have any other pros you might think that you have in your mind?
Pros to transferring in high school.
Mm-hmm. Or in college?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've said them all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different for every player, but depending on where you go, it could be for more time to worse school if you want to transfer, or it could be to a more rigorous degree of basketball than you were playing at to get better. So I think it all depends on the player, but yeah, I think that you listed all of them.
Okay. Okay. So here are the cons of transferring either as a high school student or a college transfer. You have a social reset. No, this is the social reset. It's a bit of a double-edged sword because it could be good in lots of ways. Like you get to meet new people and everything. But I can understand the bad part of, well, crap, I gotta make new friends.
Yeah.
Reputation questions. And we alluded to this earlier about like you going to multiple schools or you transferring schools in general, like for no good reason.
Yeah.
Label of running from competition. Now, I don't see this as a issue unless you're going to a lower division school or you going to lower conference,
Hmm.
I would say.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Another con would be development disruption. It depends. That's a double edged sword because if you go to a certain school, you get developed better than the previous school, but it all depends. The last con would be escaping accountability, and this is also like a bit of a double edged sword because it's like you're not really escaping accountability. You just want to do some. You just want to do something that be more beneficial to you.
Yeah.
But if you are just transferring schools just for shits and giggles,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree with that.
do you have a con?
No, I think you've created a good list. So yeah, I think you've listed them all out pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to college transfer specifically because the other things we talked about it could be college or high school, but for college transfers specifically, transfer portal realities. Me and David, we talked about all the reasons why it is fine to go to the transfer portal because we understand if you want to make more. We understand if you want to make more money if you are in a lower division school or you want to want to do something with your name, image, and likeness, or it's not a good fit, like the school you went to wasn't a good fit. Like we can understand that, or like playing time politics, we can understand that. But it does get to a point that if you're transferring schools because of specifically NIL, and specifically for money, like bro, you're just messing up your career.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets to a point.
Yeah, it does get to a point. This kind of alludes to the second point with culture shock because thought all high school athletes out there and even the college athletes listen to this. Once a player gets into the transfer portal, there is no guarantee that that person is going to get picked up unless that they are a very unless they are a good caliber of player
And they have something lined up.
and they have something lined up already. A lot of athletes, if they do go to the transfer portal, they don't have something lined up.
Yeah.
Or if they do, then either there wasn't a tampering situation or there was.
Yeah.
But any athlete that goes into the transfer portal, you have to understand that just because you go in there, you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah.
There's a good chance you're not going to get what you want. Like we said, we can understand that if something bad has happened in the school that you went to, they force you to transfer, we can understand that. But there's the risk is very high that people are not the coaches are not going to pick you up, or they might not even call you.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I want to talk about as well is the academic risk or fit. Now, I think that's one of the things that I feel like athletes are forgetting when they talk about money and everything about transferring. And that's like, are their academics straight for them to just be going ahead and doing that?
Yeah.
To just be leaving schools like that? Because if their academics ain't right, then why are you transferring?
Mm-hmm.
You think that you're making a bag off of your name that's going to just stick with you throughout college? No, no, because certain schools now, if your academics ain't right, they can just take money away from you. Like you get an F in this, or you get an F in this grade, and you got to repeat it. That's a certain amount of money take from your NIL collective.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get that money. Some athletes might not like that. Who cares? That you think that coach is going to care?
Yeah.
They want for you to be an athlete and for you to get bank off your name, image, and likeness. Make sure your grades are straight, or make sure you go to a school that fits you academically.
Yeah.
If I'm at a Division II school, no, yeah. Let's say let's say if I'm at a Division II school and I want to transfer to a Division I AA or Division I school, and you are going to player to let that happen.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that before you can talk about like NIL and stuff like that, will this school accept you because of your grades?
Yeah.
And if the school can't accept you because of your grades, it doesn't matter what the coaches say or what they can do for you. You're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
Because the coaches are going to be like, well, you can't come to our school, you can't come to our college because you're not good enough academically.
Yeah.
And it seems like people are forgetting that. Or if they not, then who else? But I feel like some people are forgetting that when you transfer, there is a risk of not all of your credits are going to come with you, and that you might have to be in college for a lot longer than you might think.
Yeah.
Now, okay, another thing is the playing time gamble.
Yeah. That's a huge one.
That's a huge one.
And that's exactly what I gambled when I transferred. So
Like it like you might get a dub and bang, you might not.
yeah.
That's just plain and simple. It all depends on the coach. Oh, okay. Scholarship risk. If you're planning on going to the transfer portal, it's plain and simple. You're giving up your scholarship to do that. Like, not a lot of coaches would welcome people back once they enter the transfer portal. Not a lot. Some of them do. And that's rare in and of itself, but not a lot. Because coaches have that mindset of, oh, you transfer from us? Well, you plan on going to a different school? Well, we're going to take your scholarship away and we're going to give it to somebody else who deserves it.
Yeah.
And you know what? The athlete cannot get mad.
Yeah.
Because you did it to yourself. It doesn't matter if the athlete was justified in transferring or whatever. If you plan on going to the transfer portal and the coaches take your scholarship, you don't have access to the facilities anymore, it's on you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think another thing college transfers should also understand is that you are easily replaceable.
Yeah, you are. There are a lot of people who would love to be in your position. So
Mm-hmm.
don't grovel, even if you have a little opportunity. Just strive for more, but be happy with where you are at the same time.
Yeah.
So, because if you only look towards the future, not enjoy what you have right in front of you, you're gonna lose it. So,
Absolutely. And the last thing before we move on to our third segment. Oh, well, here's a question to you, David.
yeah.
Why should or why shouldn't money and NIL make the athlete's decision to leave a program they committed to?
Why shouldn't it make the
Why
decision?
should or shouldn't?
Money is, money's always a good thing, like, but it also shouldn't be where you want to go because you should want to go to a program that fits you best and wants to benefit you the most. Because if a school could pay all it wants, but then it could just be a crapshoot for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on what they want to pay and even take the money out of it, what type of education they can provide, and how much they can set you up better for the future. Because a lot of people aren't cut out for the professionals for going pro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of people forget. Like you could go to school for 4 years and make how much, but if they have a crapshoot of an education and they don't set you well up at all, what are you going to be doing when you're 23, 24? You're not playing basketball anymore. You're not making those millions or hundreds of thousands or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're stuck without money. You had terrible education. Now you might be stuck at a McDonald's. So I think ultimately your future should be decided in that, should be the deciding factor in that,
Mm-hmm.
and not money.
Yeah. I can understand like trying to make a good amount of money immediately because you had a big impact on your squad
Yeah.
and you want to make sure you get paid for it. But for you to dip out of the program you originally committed to because, well, they don't make as much money, and
Yeah.
that's just like that's a huge risk you want to take. And like I said, if you already haven't been tampered with already, and we hope nobody has been tampered with, but if you already hadn't been tampered with already, then don't just willingly just go into the transfer portal
Yeah.
unless you know where you want to go and you know that coaches are looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't just willingly just go to transfer portal. Like it's just not right for you and your family because, like you said, there's a good chance that if you hop in that thing and you don't get what you want,
Yeah.
now you're screwed. You're not on the football. You're not on the football team. You're not on the basketball team. You're not on any sports teams. And now the only thing they can hang your hat on is your education. And like you said, if your education is not good,
Yeah.
it's a crapshoot. Let's move on to segment 3. Prepping for two-a-days and tryouts. Let's say you do get benched, and because you got benched, you transfer. And with the new school that you're planning on going to, they don't just let anyone on their team. You have to try out for it. Now, for you to try out, there's like multiple things you have to get done, like conditioning, see how much mental toughness you have, film prep, and body language when it comes to the tryouts. David, when it came to your conditioning standards when you had transferred, how was that and like how did you deal with it?
The difference was substantial. And, something that did really help was we did fall conditioning.
Mhm.
So we would, do conditioning and then we'd scrimmage after. And that was something I wasn't used to, but it definitely prepared me for the type of conditioning I had to be during the year, during the type of physical condition I had to be in during the year. And that definitely helped in keep getting me up to speed on a new level and getting me up to speed on on just everything else. So it definitely, because you could be a great player, and if you're not conditioned well, you're not going to play well. So
Yeah.
it helped me with to play pretty well, being at a new level. So
I well, I didn't really transfer. No, I didn't transfer at all. When I came to high school, even though I wanted to. I knew for sure that if I did transfer, I knew the condition standards were going to be much higher,
yeah,
and that I'm going to have to be ready to make that jump. And I believe that
okay,
I believe that every athlete take that into account before they transfer. It's like you got to understand that you don't know what the condition standards are going to be for that division.
hmm
And if you do plan on playing up, or if you play down, who knows? That condition may be way more rough, or may be way more tougher than someone in a higher division. You don't know that.
yeah,
So it's better for you to know what the condition standards are, or just stay conditioned the entire time.
yeah, I agree with that.
Now, for the mental toughness, I would say when you're going to trial for something, it is important for you to like have that mindset of I'm going to make this trial.
Yeah,
There is no I hope I play on this team. I hope I win the tryout.
hmm
No, it's the moment you walk in, the moment you step foot in that door, the moment you step foot in that coach's office, the moment that those drills get set up, is I'm going to win this rep. I'm going to win this set. I am going to make the team.
yeah,
That should be that should be your mental toughness.
hmm
That should be your mentality.
yeah, 100%.
Like the moment that you hesitate and be like, man, I hope that I make the team, you're already putting yourself in a bad position because that just shows you don't have the confidence to make the team.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
Keep that in your minds, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I also put down like a film study prep, but I just require basically plain and simple, like do your research before you transfer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like make sure that that school, like I said, the system is right for you and the academics is right for you, because you don't want to just transfer to a school that might not value education as much, or they might not value sports as much, and it might end up screwing you over at the very end. So make sure you do study.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing that we should talk about when it comes to tryouts and two a days is the body language. And this basically goes the first question about mental conditioning standards,
hmm
mental toughness. Both of those combined go in to body language, and coaches can easily see your body language. Plain and simple. If you're over here, you have your hands on your knees, you look like you're about to puke and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's not a good sign. Coaches are going to look at you and be like, he might not be good for us. Or they'll probably put you at a position that might not require it, might not require as much conditioning, but you're still going to have to condition. But if you're going into a new school and you're just not conditioned at all,
yeah,
then coaches are going to see that. They can see it in your body language, and it's not good. Same thing with like mental toughness. Now, coaches cannot be inside your head. That's literally impossible. But they can tell when you don't have that fire, you don't have that passion, you don't have that dog in you.
yeah,
They can tell. If you're out in the trials and you're just basically like screwing around
yes,
and you're not like mentally locked in, coach is not going to want you. It doesn't matter who the coach is.
yeah,
If a coach still wants you and you were over here messing around, you were either really good or that coach does not know what he's doing.
yeah.
Out of those four that we talked about so far, David, is there anything you want to add?
No, that sounds great.
Okay. Now, these two can coincide with each other, and that's leadership without a title and outworking everyone, but you don't have to be boastful about it. Now, what I mean by being a leader without a title and outworking people is show that initiative to like be a leader in their tryout. Like help somebody else, give somebody tips, even if they don't want it. But it's important like to just talk to people around you. Like not during coach's time. If the coach is talking and everything, like make sure you just sit there and be quiet and listen and try to understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
But if y'all are doing drills and you see somebody like messing up or whatever, give them advice. Like try to give them some sort of advice to help them improve. Because coaches will see that and they'll acknowledge like, okay, he's trying to be a leader. He's trying to help out other people while on the tryout. Because a lot of people, when it comes to the tryouts, it's always me, I. But they're forgetting the main thing, and that's the team.
Yeah.
Are you a good fit for the team? And if coaches see that, he or she will be good for the team.
Yeah.
And you can do that, but you also need to be outworking other people as well.
Yeah.
If you're being a leader and you're outworking people, coaches are definitely going to want you.
Well,
coach,
a leader has to outwork.
yeah, that's kind of where I was.
You simply cannot be a leader and not outwork everyone else.
Yeah,
Because a leader is going to say, I'm not going to ask you to do something that I won't do with you guys.
yeah,
If you're just talking and you're not doing anything, that's just called being a fraud.
absolutely,
And you will have nobody listening to you.
absolutely. I mean, you said it better than me because I was over here getting my tongue twisted. Like I know what I wanted to say, but you said it much better than I ever can, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna move on to our fourth segment, and that's the identity reset. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, I do have some other questions as well for the previous segment. How long do you think somebody should fight before they consider transferring?
I think if they're not one, if they can't see improvement, two, if there's no team chemistry and you're just you're just kind of isolated, and three, if it's just not beneficial in any aspect. So I think you stay until you drained all the possibilities of being on the team, and if you see no benefit, there's nothing wrong with transferring. If you gave it 100% a shot, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah, like I can say it better myself. But the next question is: do you think one bad season is enough? And to be honest, no,
No,
no, it's not.
it's not. It's truly not a bad. It's not an excuse to leave a team.
Yeah, after one bad season, because
Yeah.
it's like,
Every team goes through
yeah.
bad seasons. So
And let's say like you're a freshman and you went through one bad season. You're a freshman, bro.
yeah, you still got 3 more years.
Yeah, you're going to develop, even though those 3 more years are going to come fast. But you're going to have time to develop. Like, don't worry about that one bad season. If it's more than one bad season, it's like, okay, maybe you should have a consideration if this coaching staff is right for you.
What? Are we talking about college or high school? Because I
High
feel
school.
transferring doesn't, there's not really transferring options in high school because you're set to a certain school in your district. So you could go private,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, if you
there's no really transferring options for high school.
well, this next question would definitely like it can go along with it as well. But I understand what you mean, and I do agree with you. But if you try to go to a school that's still in your district, like if a school is
You're not going to that school. You're put in that school. So you're kind of stuck with what you got. There is no transferring. Is my point. Unless you want to go private.
is that how that worked at your
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. You're put in a set district, and you can't leave. There are certain states that if your parents work there or something, you can go. That was almost my case. But no, other than that, unless you go private, you can't transfer schools.
okay? So you think it's a situation by situation basis?
That the majority is you're put in a set district and you're set on that school. Like I couldn't just transfer to our rivals who were better that year for my school. I couldn't just transfer to another team in my conference. That would be going against.
Even if they're in the same district.
There's one high school per district,
You know what? I'm realizing
or
it.
not per district, but like there's certain like you're if you live in a certain area, you go to that high school. If you live in a different area, you go to that high school. It all depends on where you live.
Yeah, because
So
at the school I went to, like the school district was pretty big. Where it's like if you wanted to go to this school and you live in that district,
Did you see it happen?
yeah. Because there was a kid that lived near my high school, but he went to another high school in our district that was like private.
Okay, well, that's different.
Well,
If it's private, then that's different. But public, you're set at that high school based on where you live.
I mean, because
If it's private, you can go anywhere you want.
but I could even transfer. I could even transfer to our.
You cannot go public to public.
I could do that.
But you
I might at the state I was in.
you did you see that happen? See people going public to public?
Yeah, I've seen that happen. Public to private and private to public, and public to public.
Okay.
I've seen it. It just that's what I'm saying. Like I think it depends on situation by situation basis. But I think if you're trying to go to out of district school, like to where you live in, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But if you are like transferring to another school that's still in your district, you can do that.
Again, depends on state.
Yeah.
Normally, that's not the case.
Yeah. It depends. Yeah. It depends on the state. So for clarification, everybody, check your state's regulations and make sure you are allowed to do that. Because if you can't do that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're just stuck at the school.
Yeah, you're stuck at school. You're at. But like I said, the next question was going to be, should parents influence that decision for you to transfer?
I don't think it's a bad thing
No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all because
because that's what happened with me. I mean, I had pretty much made my decision for myself, but I definitely was over the private school I was at. So
yeah, my mom, she wanted me to go to another public school outside of my district, but she knew that that public school was going to be better for me. So yeah, your parents definitely should. It's fine if your parents influence that decision because who knows, your parents might see that the school district you're in might not be good for you, and like if your parents work outside of your school district, maybe it's a better deal for you to go to a school that's closer to your parents' workplace. But I guess that will all depend on like state by state as well.
yeah,
Now, if we were to switch this over to college, the first two, how long should someone fight before consider transfer? And is one bad season to be enough? One bad season enough? No. Should your parents influence that decision? If you are in college and they want you to transfer, I would say in some circumstances, because if you're homesick, yeah, I guess that's fine if you want to transfer
yeah,
because you want to stay close to home for
yeah,
whatever reason, like you miss your family. But if your parents are telling you to transfer because another school is offering you more money, you need to take an initiative as a grown man or a grown woman to think for yourself.
yeah,
That's all I'm saying to that.
yeah. There's nothing wrong if you want to leave for the money because that's why a lot of people leave jobs
Mhm.
for. But make sure it's in your best interest overall.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna go into character questions, and this is like outside of. Would you trust a teammate who transferred twice, David?
Trust a teammate who transferred twice.
Mm-hmm. It didn't work out in their first school, and it didn't work out their second school.
Honestly, as a player, I wouldn't care.
Mm-hmm.
If you're there to help us win, then let's go win.
Mm-hmm.
If you're there just to screw us over and then move on, then we don't want you here. But as a player, I don't really care. I just want to win. So
Do you think all athletes should take on that mindset?
I'm not caring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's again, it's none of your business, none in your control. So just control the variables you can control and move on.
Okay. Well, does transferring hurt the locker room culture? Does it have the potential to hurt the locker room?
Hey, anything has the potential to hurt it. I mean, there's definitely potential, but I think you guys have to be open mind. You have to be open minded first and try to make it work the best because that's your teammate. No matter if you like him or not, you still gotta deal with him. You still gotta play with him. You still gotta respect him. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think that should that should affect anything. That's again that's a basis by basis example, but
Yeah. For our last segment, we're going to do a rapid fire round between me and David. Now, David, should you transfer or stay and fight if you at one school?
I think
If the school, is like it's all right, but the next school you plan on going to, or you're thinking about going to, is better at sports and academics, should you stay there and continue to like build yourself up and stay with the team so you can bring that program up?
I say you stay and fight because there's nothing more successful than playing you're a senior, you're playing your final games and realize that there's so much emotional happiness and like I spent my 4 years here.
Mhm.
I made this team proud. I worked through the hard times.
Mhm.
And I think there's something uh successful in that.
Yeah, I understand that. You know what? I would I would 100% agree with you. Like if it's 100% better and 100% more gratifying if you were to stay at that school and you were to build that program up. And guess what? You will be known as one of the key people that have built that program up to where it is now proud.
Yeah.
Now, the only time I would consider that an athlete should consider transferring is if the entire culture is just messed up. It's like, bro, there's nothing good going on. Just leave. Next question: should you have a walk-on mentality or a starter mindset?
You need to have a walk-on mentality because the walk-ons are they grind and they keep going.
Mhm.
They keep pushing through. They always want to be better. They always want to improve. They want to be students of the game. They have a mindset that nobody else has. They're fighting every single day and earning every single minute as if it's going to be their last one. If you have a starter mentality and your ego gets a little hurt because you end up getting less minutes because your performance goes down, you're going to end up not doing anything about it. You're going to play that victim mentality. Having that walk on mentality gives you a huge advantage in life because you're picturing yourself still at the bottom of the barrel and all you're doing is going up.
Absolutely. And you know what? Now and I 100% agree with David again because that mindset of just straight grinding, like you don't care what's next, you just want to get better. There's nothing more likely. And guess what? What if you have that mentality? Coaches are definitely going to notice you, and when they notice you, there is always a chance that you will get a reward at the very end. Maybe something, and there's a good possibility it's going to be something positive.
Yeah.
A very good possibility. But as long as you keep going and keep grinding, keep getting better, you're doing the right things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, that starter mindset of, well, I'm coming here to start. I'm not coming here to sit on the bench. All right, bro. So you just made it about you. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Now it's just made me realize, like, okay, I don't want to hang around that dude
absolutely.
because, yeah, you're like saying, yeah, it's that people want to say like some mentality that everybody else should have. I'm like, yeah, but it's about the team, not about you. No one else cares that you want to start. Only you do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like if you want to start, okay, cool. Like try your best. Like try to beat out everybody else. But if you make being a starter your just main ego is like, yes, I'm a starter. Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
you're a starter on a team. Keyword team.
yeah. It's not.
It's not about you.
Yeah,
Next question is should you text your coach or meet in person?
you have to meet in person, and I hate the texting BS. I hate all of that. You meet in person, and that's just true with life in general. You want to tell somebody big news. You want to. You want to tell them bad news, good news. You do it in person.
Mhm.
You don't do it over a text. And if you want to have a meeting with your coach, you better walk up to him and ask him if you can meet with him. Schedule that and go meet with him. But no, you don't shoot a text. That's the coward way
Mhm.
getting out of it.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I said, and I agree with David here. I'm not gonna lie. If you're doing it through text or even worse, email, it's less impactful.
Yeah,
It's way less impactful. It feels there's no emotion to it,
it is. Yeah,
and it just feels dry. And that's not something that you would want to do. If y'all want to speak, you want to talk man to man, you want to talk woman to woman, talk. Go up to your coach and tell them that you want to meet with them.
yeah,
Don't just send texts about some stuff. Because if you send text, you don't know how many text messages they're going to get. If you send email, you don't know how many emails they have. They might look at it and they might blow it off. You don't know that.
yeah,
So it's way better to go ahead and way better to go up to your coach and tell them and ask them for a moment.
yeah. Absolutely.
Now, the last one is okay. Do you think athletes should post their grind clips on social media or they should move silently?
I think it's easier to stay silent
Mhm.
and just keep working off the grid, because when you post stuff on social media, there you add a certain amount of pressure and expectation. But if you work in silent and your game then just explodes, it it almost seems like overnight success, but and then people don't really understand the type of work you actually put in. And that's actually can be the most successful kind of work to do, is work that people think just was overnight success.
Mhm.
They didn't see the long hours that you put in the gym or on the court or on the field, running, lifting, practicing, whatever it may be. They don't get to see that. That's only shared with you.
Absolutely. And I agree with this too because if you move silently, and you know what? I'm gonna add this. When you move silently, there are gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be doubting you because when you move silently, there's always gonna be somebody's like, "Well, I don't see you doing this. I don't see you doing that." And these other athletes are doing this. These other athletes are doing that, and they're posting this. I'm like, well, that's the difference between me and them. They want to
Yeah.
be loud.
Yeah.
I don't want to be loud. That's not my style.
Yeah.
Now, everyone out there, you do what you want to do,
Yeah.
but not everybody's going to be posting their clips like that. And you know what? It's fine if they don't post their clips because they want to move in a different way.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Next question: talent or toughness?
Toughness. Toughness wins every time, because you could have all the talent in the world, but if you're not tough mentally and physically through thick and thin, you're
Mhm.
not going to be able to succeed in anything in life, and not just athletics, in life in general.
Absolutely. There was a quote: "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard."
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loyalty or opportunity?
Tough one. I'm gonna go loyalty on that one.
Okay.
Um, because I think, like I said before, there's something sweet about staying loyal. There's something precious and emotionally jerking almost, because they get to see you grow.
Mhm.
They get to see who you were 4 years ago compared to now, and that is truly something special. To get to hear people say, "Wow, you changed a lot." That's something truly special to hear.
Absolutely. Next, second to last question: is the transfer portal good or bad?
That's good. It's. I mean, it's fine. I mean, with anything in life, one of my favorite quotes is, "The grass is never greener on the other side." There's no more pros to one side than the other. There could be better pros to one side, but and that can also come with worse cons too.
Mhm.
The grass is never greener on the other side, so just be diligent about where you transfer, and make sure it is in your best interest all around, not just for one purpose.
All right. You know what? I agree with that. Okay. I just realized I also want loyalty as well. So just to point that out. But I think the transfer portal is good because it does give people an opportunity to do better at a different school. And it does help college kids go to a different school that their previous school might not have.
Yeah.
So, transfer portal does a lot more good. but it's just overshadowed by the bad because of coaches tampering and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the last question, ready?
Yeah.
Would you rather, Mr. David, would you rather be underestimated or overhyped?
I'd rather be underestimated. There's nothing more, there's nothing better than being underrated and people just get to see you prove them wrong. There's almost a fire it lights under you when you're underrated and when you're not talked about. It causes you to say, all right, through you guys, I'm gonna go prove you guys wrong. It lights a fire. Being overhyped, I mean, that just is unadded pressure. If you're an underdog, you got nothing to lose.
Absolutely. You know what? I would rather be underestimated too because I just love the underdog mentality.
Absolutely.
Because it's like all the underestimation is like, you're not going to do anything. What can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Watch me. And then shoot, I can become the most craziest player in the world. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that you don't know what somebody has. So stop down everybody on the field or
Mm-hmm.
on the court. Stop down people. I'm going to say this, and this is how I want to end off the podcast, and this is how I want to end off everything we talked about. If your younger self asks you if you wanted to transfer, what would you tell them? And what I mean by that is, if you wanted to go back to school, you go back in time, you talk to your younger athlete, you talk to your younger self, and they wanted to transfer. What would you tell them?
I would tell them for my particular situation to do it
Mhm.
because we will have more opportunities academically and we will also have more opportunities athletically than we could ever imagine.
Mhm. For me, I would also tell them to do it because you will be better off mentally and physically if you do so.
Yeah.
All right, well that is it for this week's episode of Game Time TV. Remember, if you like topics like this, and if you want to listen to more, please hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to Game Time TV on YouTube. Remember, we are available on Caring You and all other podcast streaming platforms. Don't forget to follow Game Time TV on Instagram and TikTok and Game T Podcast on X. This is Loren signing off.
This is David signing off.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.